Greetings, dear ones. I'm Kryon of Magnetic Service. I've said this before, it is a sweet place here, with human beings who have a glint of what they can do. Just a tiny glint of the light that they can create within. You might say it's a glimpse of their power. And some of you feel it and you know it. And almost exclusively you don't know what to do next. And if that's you, that's normal. For when you work in a multi-dimensional state, which we are asking you to do, you don't see a timeline. The Masters had a phrase, "It is well with me. It is well with my soul." And they said it even in times before death. They said it in times that were frustrating. They said it in times of difficulty. Because they were focused on one thing, one reality. That the love of God inside them creates love of self. We have said this before. We have channeled it many times. We've even told you it's the secret to mastery. Get to the place where you are content with that which is in you, which is God. And let all of the other things around you be developed as you learn what to do with your life. Do not decide in advance where you're going to go or what you're going to do. Shortly we'll give a channeling which outlines the difference in energy between the very ancient past, the relative past, and that which is in the shift. We will give the attributes of how a light worker works with specifics and instructions of how things have changed. That's coming. But that's not today. I want to give you today the profundity of the system of Gaia and humanity. There's been a lot of teaching today. And this then complements it. For what I want to do is explain your relationship to the system that's seemingly complex and esoteric, but that which literally defines you. Every so often I will give this kind of channel. There's nothing in the channel that you can prove. It's not science. It's about you. Truly, it's all about you. Is it possible that the whole purpose of Gaia is to support humanity? Is it possible that human beings are not simply another mammal on a planet revolving around the sun? Is it possible that the energy delivered from the vibratory rate of this planet based upon what humanity does will actually affect the universe? And the answer is yes. And if that is the case, what kind of a system is in place that would allow such a thing to be? And how big is it? And that's what we will discuss now in this short amount of time. Let us define Akash. You have heard this before, that Gaia is an energy on the place of the planet Earth. And that Gaia is sentient. Gaia is an intelligence. Gaia has that which you would call intelligent consciousness. Able to converse, able to speak, much like Kryon does. And you'd be right. Gaia speaks in so many ways. And if you ask what the Akash of Gaia was, it would be the life force of the planet. And so the word Akash is used in a grander fashion that I'm going to use it tonight. For I wish to speak of the Akash of the human being in relationship to Gaia. Gaia's cooperation. Everything revolves around the human. Even the planet. Especially the planet. And if we had to start at the beginning, we'll say this: there is a system to keep track of who is here. Now, you may not think God would need a system, and you'd be right, but Gaia does. And there is a reason. For every single human soul that comes to this place called Earth makes a difference, has a unique energy, creates a record, and more, you'll see. And here it goes. Deep within the earth, there is an interdimensional cavern that will never be found, but has three-dimensional properties. Difficult to explain, it is the only kind of hybrid in its existence that has three-dimensional properties which absolutely you would see and understand if it were visible, and it is not. For it is what you would call hidden. Never be found, it cannot be found, cannot be detected. It won't be. And in it is who you are. It's called the Cave of Creation. When you come to the planet, it's the first place you visit even before the birth canal. When you leave the planet, it's the last place you visit before you come home. Known by all of you when you are not human. It is the depository of the record of humanity, all of the lives that humanity have lived, and the very core soul essence of who you are. And here's how it works. Each soul in the cave of creation is unique. Let us take yours, for instance. What is your name? That name that you have, when you go to the other side of the veil, is recorded in the cave of creation as you leave, metaphorically as a stripe on a crystalline structure. The crystalline structure, you might say, is that which remembers the vibration of who you were. Now let us say you come back, and you're going to be another name, an unknown at that moment. Before you hit the birth canal, another stripe is tentatively added to the crystalline. Same soul, stripe number 2. As it develops on the planet, it expects you to return and activate or solidify the stripe. And you do when you pass over again. So therefore, you have a crystalline structure for every soul, not every lifetime. Some of the souls there have 1,000 stripes. Now I want to tell you something. Old soul, that's who you are. In the room. Even the one or the 2, or even the 3 that have come to this place not necessarily for the program, but to help somebody else, you're there, old soul, and you've got multiple lifetimes.